So a few days ago this scene popped up on my Instagram feed. Walt at the party celebrating his remission, dropping this take.
When I got my diagnosis, cancer, I said to myself, why me? And then, the other day when I got the good news, I said the same thing.
I've rewatched Breaking Bad like 30 times, easily. And if anyone doesn't believe me, you're underestimating what a guy with no job can pull off while playing Dota 2 with something running on the second monitor in the background. But this specific moment, for some reason I never really paid much attention to it. And honestly, this moment is incredibly deep, both philosophically and in terms of what it means for the show and for where the character goes. Walt isn't performing here. This is one of those rare moments where he's completely sincere, thinking out loud about the nature of his own existence and about how everything actually turned out. The diagnosis left rage behind. Not only had he lived what he felt was a mediocre life and never got anything for his genius, now he was also gonna die of cancer at 50. And that's where the first question shows up in his head. Why me? That rage is exactly what breaks him. Literally. Breaking Bad. Then comes acceptance. And after acceptance comes the need to be bigger than fate. Bigger than whatever the doctors told him. To take control into his own hands. And it starts working. He uses the cancer as fuel. And then remission, which tries to take his fuel away. And that's where the second why me comes in. Walt had already made peace with his fate. He'd clawed back a piece of dignity in a place where most people just quietly give up. And that's genuinely insulting to him. And that anger, all that acceptance, none of it meant anything. That's real powerlessness. He thought he'd won, and the universe took control away from him again. So now he's got a choice. What do I do next? Earlier in the episode, Walt meets Jesse at the restaurant and tells him straight, once we unload the rest, I'm done. Then comes that whole reflection about life. And at the end of the episode, Walt drives to a hardware store, where he spots a guy buying matches and chemicals for cooking meth. He walks out to the parking lot and over this insane soundtrack says,
Stay out of my territory.
And that right there, for me, is the moment Walter White fully became Heisenberg. Not the first kill in a basement, not shaving his head and walking into Tuco's office, not standing there cold while Jane choked to death right in front of him. Exactly right here, on the parking lot. When, after being handed a chance at a whole new life, after all that thinking and deciding, he consciously, with no cancer left to hide behind, takes a step into the abyss he's never climbing out of. This is season 2, episode 10, and it's got a pretty symbolic title, Over, the end of Walter White, the end of his old life, and full acceptance of a new reality. But can we even say Walter White turned into Heisenberg? A lot of people think he always was Heisenberg. The cancer didn't change Walt, it just took the chains off. But that's a whole other fascinating philosophical question, and honestly I still haven't found a clear answer for myself. What do you think? Can a person actually change who they are at the core? Or is it all already set for us from childhood, by genetics, environment, all of that? Let me know in the comments.